From Ari Aster coming up with another paranoid dose of perfection, to Joaquin Phoenix blessing us with another intense performance, it's so intense that Joaquin straight up faints while doing a scene in Beau's Afraid. My oh my! The director of acclaimed movies such as Hereditary and Midsommar has debuted another movie. The film, titled Beau is Afraid, follows Joaquin Phoenix's paranoid lead character as he embarks on an epic odyssey to find his mother, played by Patti LuPone. In Brooklyn, New York, those who had purchased tickets to see Aster's previous film Midsommar were surprised to learn that they were about to see the first screening of his new film. The nightmare comedy has been described as demented and uncomfortably hilarious by those who've seen it. The 3-hour film was followed by a Q&A with Aster, moderated by Emma Stone, and there was a scene that was intense for Patti, but guess who collapsed? Joaquin Phoenix! My guy wasn't even on camera and was just helping them, but the Joker star was all in it for them to the point of collapsing. It's very insane that he fainted in the middle of someone else's shot, and it also did piss Aster off because it was a really good take. But now I have a burning question that needs an answer. Is the movie that intense? There are only a few weeks until Ari Aster's latest film, Beau is Afraid, hits theaters, and early reviews have labeled it the director's most chaotic project to date. The film follows the titular character, Joaquin Phoenix, an anxious man who travels home after his mother's death, encountering a series of surreal and supernatural events along the way. Beau is Afraid also stars two-time Grammy winner and Life Goes On star Patti LuPone, the Birdcage star Nathan Lane. Wait, the cast doesn't end there. It also has Amy Ryan, also Scream 3's Parker Posey, Mad About You star Richard Kind, and Fences star Stephen McKinney Henderson. Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid is a bold blend of horror and comedy. It's an amazing portrayal of artistic genius, part gorgeous existential nightmare fuel, part pitch black comedic tale. If you are not hyperventilating, you should check your pulse to ensure you are not dead. All of this is not me talking. It's a Twitter user after the screening of Aster's new movie, while the other Twitterati called it a dazzlingly haunting trip that lingers on the mind, and how it deep dives into mother-son relationships that'll have you laughing but also frightened, and some think it's a lot to take in one sitting. So it's a 3-hour dose of anxiety-centered insanity wrapped in perfection? Where can I get the ticket from? Those who watched it in the early screening deemed Phoenix's performance incredible, like always, and Aster has done it again with the best representation of how intrusive thoughts can rule over a person. Beau is Afraid is a tale of not a heroic fine lad, but of a neurotic individual. It is wrapped with so many fine details, just pure 3-hour content of wild stuff. I mean, if you saw the trailer, and if you have watched previous movies by Aster, and if you still thought that this movie would be all sunshine and rainbows, well, I hate to burst your bubble, cause it's quite the opposite. The trailer makes you think, what in the world is going on? Despite an enthralling and chaotic trailer, the plot remains somewhat hazy. It's no surprise that the details about the director's anticipated follow-up are unclear. The trailer appears to show Aster moving away from his usual horror genre into dark comedy. However, the film received an R rating for violent, solid content. And if you look at Aster's directorial style, it's often described as intense, atmospheric, and visually stunning, right? He just has a unique flair for creating unsettling and disturbing images, and his films are known for emphasizing character-driven storytelling and psychological horror. Aster's films also explore themes of grief, trauma, and family dysfunction, and he is known for his attention to detail and crafting immersive and unsettling environments for his characters to inhabit. He is also known for pushing the boundaries of genre conventions and defying audience expectations. In terms of visual style, Aster employs various techniques to create a sense of unease and disorientation. This includes the use of carefully crafted set design, creative camera angles and movements, and a distinctive color palette. He also strongly emphasizes sound design and music, often utilizing dissonant sounds and eerie scores to heighten tension and create a sense of dread. Aster's directorial style is a perfect blend, marked by its unique blend of artistic sensibility, psychological psychological depth and effective horror filmmaking techniques. And in his newest project, the Hereditary director has collaborated with A24. If you take a quick look at the IMDb page, it tells the movie as a decade-spanning portrait of one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time. Say what? But if you look at the trailer, it just adds more to your confusion, right? It might seem at first, but a careful deep dive will answer some of our curiosities. At the start of the trailer, we see Joaquin Phoenix's balding and frumpy-looking beau announce that he'll be visiting his mother tomorrow. He appears afraid to leave his house, and when he does, he encounters inexplicable obstacles that get in the way of him reaching his mother. It then transforms from the mundane world of reality into the fantastical world of magical realism. This world is vibrant, colorful, and picturesque, and it resembles a set for a play. Oh, so it does have sunshine and rainbows? Even though in a haunting way. Why, you may ask? Cause Beau's mental state isn't exactly well. He's seen popping pills earlier in the trailer, so it's difficult to tell whether this is a paranoid delusion or a big metaphor. And if you take a look at the poster, it depicts him in 4 different forms and generations. As it follows him through the stages of his life, this could easily allude to the entrepreneur narrative. Each Beau has dressed in powder blue silk pajamas with his name embroidered on them. So does it imply wealth and success, or in this parallel Adventureland reality, it's all the different versions of Beau he encounters? We never know. The oldest Beau and the cowboy hat wearing Beau seen on the poster appear only in the trailer, which takes place inside of a dreamlike world. That would imply that part of Beau's journey to find his mother includes confronting every version of himself, which he may have been avoiding. A younger adolescent is also depicted on the poster, which appears in the trailer only in shots of him on a beach vacation, and having brief, intense encounters with his mother at that age. So is this movie any different than Astor's previous work? It's epic jumbo. Every detail has a detail inside of it, says the director. As Astor previously stated to IndieWire, the film is not a horror film. If you look at the trailer, the different tones and visuals aren't the same as in his previous films. Unlike Hereditary and Midsommar, the film appears more comical and dreamlike, particularly in the animation shots. It might take a few movies for Astor to get back into horror, but he loves that stuff. And I'm sure he'll return and serve us with more horrifying blessings. Head trauma will always have a place in my films, he added. Obviously it will. What happens as the story progresses remains to be seen, and given Astor's previous work dealing with grief issues, it will be interesting to discover the source of Beau's anxiety and how it relates to his experiences. Both Hereditary and Midsommar explored the thoughts of their main characters and how their mental states change throughout the course of the films. Beau is Afraid can address similar issues, but the overall journey appears to be different. Well, that's all on Joaquin's recent movie, Beau is Afraid.